Hello, everyone, and welcome to Beyond the Stage. Today I'm here with Jennifer Vazquez. Jennifer, what are some of your earliest memories of music?
Earliest memories. So I remember being in my parents' living room, and they had like Barbra Streisand, Billy Joel, ABBA, Donna Summer. And I just remember kind of dancing around the room, listening to these songs and being quite intrigued by this thing that we call a hook. But I was so intrigued. I'm like, wow, like, why do I keep singing this over and over again? But I don't know the other lyrics. I just know this hook. And I just remember as a kid being like so intrigued, like, how do they do that? Like, how do they make me sing that over and over? And it just became kind of like this intrigue of like, how do they do that? And I guess that kind of just led me to the process of writing a song over the years and understanding the concept and how that happens, like how people sing that, because you kind of like, there's a formula, but you got to make sure the formula is like unique enough, but yet has to be the formula so people can sing it. So I think that's like my earliest memories of like, the whole thought of like songwriting, although at the time I had no clue, I was just intrigued by it.
Was there one particular moment that made you decide to pursue music?
I think it was always in me, like as a kid, like as a child, like I did the dancing, the singing, the acting. Fortunately, because my mom put me in like dancing school, and then it led to kind of just the plays and the musicals. And I think that when I was like 9, I started writing lyrics, and I would hum the melodies and things like that. But I think it was when I was 22, after being involved in dancing and singing and acting, that I realized I had to like make a decision, because even though I wanted to be a triple threat, I needed to focus on one thing. And for me, I think singing and songwriting was the most difficult thing for me. So I like to go towards my fears. So I chose being a singer-songwriter because it was really hard. But it felt right. It felt like that was where my passion was. So I kind of gave up the other two, hoping one day maybe they'd come back, but knowing I got to pick one. So I think that was the moment when I was like 22 years old, just deciding,
When writing your songs, where does most of your inspiration come from?
It comes from a mixture. I think it comes from obviously my own experiences, but it also comes from a lot of like observing of other people, and also friends, family, just like honing into their minds and their experiences, and kind of like formulating together. Like in a song, sometimes I'll have a song and it's like, well, it's real because I had the experience, but then I get like ideas from other people's experiences and I kind of intertwine them. So sometimes it's like, I'll be singing a song and I'm like, I don't know if these people realize this is not all about me, but I had to be inspired through it. So I think it's a mixture of everything. And also like quotes from like movies or like books, like art, poetry, everything kind of inspires me. So I just kind of like let the gates open and just listen. So that's where my inspiration just comes from, living, pretty much.
Jennifer, who are some of your biggest musical influences?
So I guess like going back to like mom and dad in their living room, like Donna Summer, Billy Joel, ABBA, Carole King. But then as I got older, Joni Mitchell, she's like a huge, huge influence. And I pray for her that she's, the whole thing about her and just her sickness right now. And, but also, I had so many different experiences with different artists. So like Depeche Mode at a certain point, Erasure at a certain point, Sting, Bob Dylan. And then you have like everyone from Jewel to Sarah McLachlan, to Patty Griffin. I mean, I just feel like basically, if I can really just dive into your lyrics, I'm going to fall in love with you, because for me, it's the lyric, it's the story. Yes, it's the melody, but like for me, it's like, God, give me a good lyric and you got me, so.
If you could choose one of them to perform with, who would you choose?
Patty Griffin. She, Living with Ghosts. That's how I got introduced to her her songwriting accidentally. I was in Amoeba Records out in LA when I lived there. And I don't know if you've ever done this, but like sometimes I like to, well, back in the day when we go into record stores, but like I would love to just be like, today I'm going to buy an artist and I don't know who they are. And I would just go and I just would be like, okay. And I'd pick it. And I picked her. And I was like, oh, this is interesting. And on the cover, it was her like naked, but you couldn't see anything. And it said Living with Ghosts. And I'm like, okay. And it said acoustic, album. And I just brought it home. And I swear I listened to it over and over and over and over again. She is like an amazing songwriter. And, now it's like, 20 so years, she's just, she's going on, I think she's on a tour now, but yes, Patty Griffin.
Can you tell us about your latest album, Bend?
So the latest full-length album is Bend. And if you one of my friends, I was just blogging about this, and one of my friends is like, Jen, if anyone really wants to get to know you, they probably just need to listen to the album Bend. And I was like, that's really interesting, So I went back and listened to it. It's like, interesting, yeah. So I would say that that journey for me, that album was a whole journey, and it was probably the span of a 10-year journey that concocted to Bend. And it's just kind of little snippets of my life for those 10 years, and love and heartache and pain, but then besides that, just growing and experiencing the hardships in life, and brushing yourself off and getting back up, because that's what you do. So that's kind of my latest album, but I do have a couple of singles that I've done after that. But yeah, Bend will always be in my heart. It's a timeless. I wanted to make something timeless, so it'll always be there because it is timeless.
I really enjoyed your song Getting Out of My Own Way. Can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration behind that?
Yeah. So there was a certain point in my life. There's been many points, but this was a specific time when I kind of, as an artist, was thinking, what else do I have to do to get known? I'm doing everything, and street performing, and getting up every day, spending hours and hours and hours a day on my music. And it just felt like, why am I not where I thought I would be? And that song kind of started formulating, because I realized, and songs are interesting because they change over the years. So you can write a song, 1 year, and then 5 years later you sing it again and you're like, wow, that's really interesting, because I'm in a different place in my life, but I still relate to it in a different way. And that song was kind of when I wrote it and I morphed it and edited it, it was kind of about you're exactly where you need to be. Just get out of your own way, and don't look at where you think you should have been. You're exactly where you need to be. And so getting out of your own way is getting out of my own way is kind of saying, you're exactly perfect in your imperfections, and just keep on going, and everything's going to be fine. So, and the journey of that song kind of takes you into how I was stepping in front of myself. So it's a deep song, but I really like it.
Are you currently working on any new projects?
Yeah, so actually just in the beginning of this year, in January, I did a music video for Getting Out of My Own Way, and that took about 5 or 6 months to put that together, and I did a whole release party for that. And that song is actually in a movie, which is, yay, presently on HBO. Right now it's presently on HBO on Sleeping with the Fishes. It's the end title crawl, so you get to listen to that. So anyway, I figured, since it's in a movie, let me leverage it. So I did a video. And now it's actually week 3 of my Vision Quest campaign with Rocket Hub. I'm ready to do a new album. I'm ready to tour. So I decided I'm going to ask for help. And it's the hardest thing for me to do because I always do things on my own. But I put this together in 5 months and I launched it. So right now I'm on a non-sleep. I'm not sleeping because I got so much work to do. But yeah, it's week 3 of the campaign. So I'm really excited. Whatever happens, happens. But I just got to put myself out there.
Jennifer, what's something outside music you enjoy that fans might not know about?
I love cooking, specifically breakfast. and baking. I used to be a volleyball player in high school, and so I love volleyball. I love beach volleyball. I love painting, although I actually just did my first painting, which is all the way in the back of the wall. And photography. I love taking pictures. I just like, yeah, I like doing a lot of stuff, traveling.
What are your goals moving forward?
Well, presently, as I'm focused on it right now, my goal is to get this crowdfunder and get the $30,000 that I've asked for, which is, at first I thought, oh my God, I'm asking for this amount of money, but after talking to producers in this day and age, it's like, it's really nothing more than just paying for the product. So I'm really focused on doing my best to reach that goal on July 26th. And also just to create a new album of all these new inspiring songs that I've written and am writing as we speak, and just to like take that to all the people that I can in the world to tour it. So pretty much just to continue being a singer-songwriter and just sharing my voice and my words and my heart with everyone out there. So yeah.
Jennifer, what's the best place for fans to stay up to date with everything you have going on?
Pretty much my website, because that takes you everywhere. So just, it's jennifervazquez.com, JenniferVazquez.com. Everything there will lead you to all the social media. So that's the best place to go.
Did you have any final thoughts for everyone watching?
Yeah, I would just say that, that you're all here for a purpose. And, when you actually realize that and find that, then don't worry what other people say. Just go towards that and kind of be the change you want to see. Because I think that for me, that like lets the world go round in a more happy, peaceful, and serene environment. So yeah, I would just share and say, go for what you believe in and what is true to you, because you can't go wrong when you do that.